What do you most look forward to in a match like this? I mean, Penn State Iowa's the same match in here, match in here. What do you want to get at? What do you look forward to?
Just reps, wrestling hard. Big Ten schedule, you get a lot of good reps. So just looking forward to going out there and scrapping. Nothing too crazy.
Do you embrace? I've actually never been to Rutgers, so I can't really say. But I would imagine it gets pretty rowdy. I'd say that's pretty a fair assessment. What is your take on it? Do you like being the villain? Do you thrive on it?
I think when you go out there, at least for me personally, once the whistle blows, I don't really notice anything other than a guy in front of me. So I think, but once again, we wrestle in a lot of big crowds. I mean, even in NCAA tournament. So I think not really focused on that. There's res light, go wrestle.
It was I might be wrong on this, but I think it was at least halfway through their goal last week, Iowa's doing where they didn't have a takedown. Is that something that you guys are aware of and kind of having to be prepared for that, where maybe they're not going after you guys, they're maybe waiting?
And I wouldn't say that's just Iowa. I think that's a lot of folk style. I think the way the rules are set up, you don't have to really go get someone. And I think for us, our team, we like to go score points. So I think the refs kind of look at it as, oh, well, these guys will score, so I'm not going to make the other guy wrestle. So I wouldn't say that's even just Iowa. I think that's a lot of the NCAA, and that's just how the rules are set up. Stalling's iffy, hands in the face is iffy. One day they want to call it, one day they don't. So, yeah, I think that's just folk style wrestling. Something's got to change, but not right now, obviously.
You got 2 duels coming up in about 4 days this weekend. What kind of extra preparation goes into that quick turnaround between matches?
Yeah, just making sure I get weight's good. So after Friday night match, not getting too hectic with the food, but and then just resting. This is my body, so it is a quick turnaround, but it's kind of like tournaments, back to back.
Does anything about being up at 97 feel different at this point of the season compared to where you were before? Sure, you felt really comfortable there, but now with this many months in, this many matches in, how does 97 feel for you, and what is your process to get in there and stay there?
Yeah, it feels good. I think it's all like trial and error. So obviously 3 years at 184, honestly 4 years at 184, I kind of got in routine with getting down to that weight. So same thing, figuring out what I can do at 97, how high I can get up and how much I'll lose in practice. So just more professional with it throughout the years. So.
What do you lose at practice? Your heaviest day at practice, what would you lose on average, you think?
I can lose 6 pounds, shirts and t-shirt.
Okay.
So 6-7 pounds.
So no hoodies then?
Yeah, this is for dodgeball, so I can catch a little harder.
Yeah.
Doesn't bounce off my chest.
What's that atmosphere like wrestling at the Bryce Jordan Center?
It's cool. I like it's just different. Red Claw, I think is more you can say intimate, it's closer. But BJC, it's just it's a big arena. So once again, you get that feel. NCAA championship type vibes. So.
Thank you.
Last year you spoke a lot about being present. And this year being it's the last go around, you would say in Penn State Sigmund. Yeah. Are you even more present, or is there any other level of being present?
Yeah, same thing. So even practicing last year, just getting better at that. So I thank the Lord for that. Letting me know ahead of time, even before these kind of things come, to be present, because things do come and go. So I think, just still on that track. Just getting a little bit better at it. Less control my thoughts and those things.
Aaron, do you like the 3-point takedown? What are your thoughts on how it's changed the sport?
Yeah, I like it. Me personally, it makes it a lot easier to get a tech fall. So I like it.
You ever feel confused on the bench though? Kind of getting used to just yelling 2 and everything. Now you got to change it up and it's 3.
In the beginning, yeah. I think even the crowd and the refs, if you watch the first 2 matches of the year, they were still putting up 2, or the crowd's still yelling 2. But you adapt, and we've got some back-to-back matches going on, so it's kind of you kind of have to get used to it.
Is attack your favorite way to win a match, or would you rather pin a guy?
I don't know, actually. Whatever comes. I mean, I don't mind attack because I'm getting more shots in, or maybe a turn, but also a pin's all right.
Easy
first, go back, drink the Gatorade, whatever it is. So
I asked Coach, I said, I think this is your guys' last road game.
Yeah.
So does it help to have the comforts of home over these last couple of weeks than leading into the Big Ten, which is only a 2-3 hour drive?
I mean, it's cool. I think for our fans, and also, we don't have to travel. But I like it. I like it personally. So.
you're wrestling Iowa as a team member for your last time. Is that kind of rivalry something you're gonna miss, like that team feud?
I don't know. I've been there this will be my third time going there, and I never got too big into the rivalry stuff, because there's a lot of people in the NCAA. So I know, obviously there's strong teams in the Big Ten, but yeah, I never looked at it as a rivalry. I don't look at anyone as our rival. Yeah, we just wrestle. So
Khaled's going for his 200th win at Penn State. What does it kind of mean to you to be a part of that?
History. Be part of history. What he's done here is historical. So I think, but even him, he doesn't pay attention to that stuff. He just wrestles, coaches, and then it comes along. So
I know you and Bernie haven't been teammates for a whole long time, but what do you think he's capable of at this point? I know he got caught this past weekend.
Yeah.
We just talked to Kale and said he's pretty confident. It kind of rolls off his back. What do you think Bernie's capable of down the stretch here?
He's world class. He can definitely be NCAA champion. We all know it comes down to, once again, who's present when the time comes. You look at the NCAA tournament, right? Because that's the final stretch, folk style-wise, right? We've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen, and even last week, we know crazy things happen in wrestling. So I think whoever's present, so he is world class, 100%. So just keeping his mind controlled and whatnot, and what God has for him is his.
We don't see him a whole lot, obviously, other than when you guys are in a duel or a tournament. What is the craziest thing you've seen him do on a mat in the ring?
He's got some good leg defense, but his shots are so quick. He has some really quick shots, and you don't really see it coming. First time I wrestled with him, I'm like, oh snap, he's on my leg because he's so long, but he also gets he gets low quick. So he's like I said, he's world class. That's a skill he's developed, and just gotta put faith in it.
Aaron, what's impressed you the most about Mitchell to this point in the season? Are you excited to see him go into a top 10 matchup on Friday?
Yeah, the thing about Mitchell, I think, is just he's coachable, and he's curious. And I think he's asking questions to everyone. Sometimes we're in the circle, he's asking 5 questions, and but I think that's what makes him great. That's why he keeps evolving. So I think that's the thing. People are strong, fast, athletic, skilled, but not many want to add on to that. He wants to add on, so he asks a lot of questions.
Does he try to pick your brain a lot?
Yeah, and likewise.
And what advice? What's the best advice do you think you've given him?
Well, I know we're just first coming in, right? Don't feel like you have to exceed the expectations. There's no expectations, no expectations in wrestling. Just go. You go out there with expectations, and they're not met. Or you could find yourself in the third period gassing because you're like, I should be up 6 points on this guy. Really, just wrestle, be present. No expectations.
On the same note, though, you've mentioned NCAAs are the goal of getting there and being mission for championship. Are there moments in the season where you, as a team or individually, look at, okay, this is a measuring post along the way where I know we're on the right path, or we need to do something different? And is this weekend one of those?
I think one thing that if I'm talking to my teammates or I'm watching my teammates, if it's a match where I know personally, they're not 100% or mentally they don't really feel like being out there, right? But they go out there and do it, I think that's a measuring stick. So not really, this guy's ranked number 5, this guy's ranked number 2. I think what speaks bigger is you can wrestle a so-called unranked guy. Your knee's a little banged up. You didn't sleep last night, feeling sick, but you still go wrestle. I think that's the true measuring stick. If you can do that, you can do anything, So that's what I look for.
Kale said last week that Starachi's kind of been, I'm kind of paraphrasing it, he had a hard time not wrestling when he was sick a few weeks ago. What does that look like, Carter Starachi being upset that he can't wrestle when he's not out there? What does that look like, having to maybe put a hook on a guy like that when he's not well enough to go, but he obviously wants to?
No one's too emotional, right? So he's not going to be slamming chairs and stuff. But he trusts in the coaches. He knows that they want what's best for him. So I think when it comes from them, he can kind of just sit back and then be that teammate that's cheering on guys like Terrell and the rest of the team. So that's kind of what it looks like. I think if it came from a place where he felt like the coach didn't have his best interest, he might retaliate and then do stuff. But he knows they have his best interest, so he's like, you know what? All right, let's just cheer for the team.